Sachin, you can put your screen on share if you want.
Sure.
So, hello and good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar brought to you by Shiksha Study Abroad in collaboration with ETS TOEFL, University of Arizona, Northeastern University, and University of North Texas. Student, this is an informative session on how how the universities are going to help you with your admissions in US and how TOEFL will help you with your English language test preparation. But before we start, I would like to introduce our presenter today. So with us, we have Mr. Sachin Jain, who is the country manager for India and South Asia at ETS India. Our second presenter is Mr. Salil Gupta, who is the chief advisor for South Asia at the University of Arizona. Our third presenter is Ms. Sukriti Sharma. She is the associate director, recruitment and marketing for global and enrollment management at the Northeastern University. And our fourth presenter is Ms. Geeta Kuruba, who is the regional manager for South Asia at University of North Texas. Student, an important note for all of you. If you have questions, I will request you to please post your questions in the Q&A section. We will take all the questions at the end of the session. If you have questions that you want to ask directly to our presenter, I will request you to please click on the raise hand tab. I will unmute you at the end of the session so that you can ask your questions directly to our presenter. I will now request Sachin to please start with the session. Thank you.
Thanks, Lakshmi. Thanks for having me. And what a day. United States of America is making news, and we are all kind of going through all the headlines, especially in the student mobility. Uh, but one thing that I would start with is that the value of higher education in US is remains intact. Some of these policy changes are just temporary, but that doesn't take away the value that uh, higher education in USA brings to the table for most of us who are aspiring to study abroad. So with that, I have few slides on US as a country and how does the higher education ecosystem in US looks like, and what is it that it takes for us to kind of apply and study in US. So most of us are aware of the I would say the key facts about US in terms of the geographics, etc. It is the largest economy, followed by China and Germany, close to $30 trillion, and around 330 million population. Uh, One of the things that I've highlighted here is the language. And very recently, 2 months back, there's an executive order which made English as the national language of US. And I would just ask all of you to park that for a minute as to why this is important in the current context. But yes, there is an executive order that has been passed to make English the national language of US. So I think that's important to just keep a note in the parking lots, and I'll connect what I meant by that and how this is important for us. You may have heard about the regions in US. There are 50 states, but generally when you are talking, you would talk about 5 regions: Midwest, West, Southwest, Southern, and the Northeastern region. So that's how you geographically kind of divide US into these 5 regions, and then the 50 states within these 5 regions. This is an important slide, and there's a lot of stuff for everyone to digest here. So let's just start. First and foremost, academic excellence. That's what I was referring to. US by far is the most vibrant and the most advanced higher education ecosystem globally. It has 4,000 accredited institutions that kind of offer higher education. And of the 100 top ranked universities globally, 60% of them are in US. So that itself talks about the quality of higher education that US offers. Um, and what that also means is that there's a huge, I would say, base of universities and institutions that one can choose to study in US. Uh, Diversity. So US is largely a land of immigrants. But that said, even in the higher education ecosystem, the total number of students studying in US in higher education is close to 20 million, of which 1 million are international students. 1 million is 10 lakh students. So there are 10 lakh foreign students, international students that are currently studying in US, which is 5% of the overall student population in US, international student population. And Indian cohort is the largest international student cohort in US. More than 30% of this 1 million students happens to be from India. So that makes Indian students a kind of a very strong community cohort of among the international student community. And that also showcases the interest, intent, and the, I would say, um, the likelihood of us studying in a US university versus any other country. Third is the support system. It is just not about education, it is also in terms of on the job experience, on campus experience that US higher education ecosystem offers. Um, on campus, there are 2 or 3 clear routes which a student can take up. If he's in a graduate, postgraduate route, then certainly a teaching assistantship, a research assistantship is something that one can look at, especially if you are in a graduate or a postgraduate program. On-campus jobs at university campuses, something that again is students look for, are quite kind of keen to kind of take up on-campus jobs um, in university. So that's something which is like one kind of experiential learning and experience that students get while studying in a US university. Second is post-studies. US is by far the most stable post-study work experience regime or ecosystem at the moment. You may have heard of OPT, which stands for Optional Practical Training. Of the 1 million students that are currently studying in US, 1 million students globally from all nationalities, close to 25% of them are actually on OPT, which also signifies the importance that OPT plays while deciding US as a destination country to study. You would be surprised, 90,000 Indian students are actually on OPT. So that again is a hot favorite among Indian students to really go for OPT. Another, I would say, USP for amongst the OPTs that for STEM programs, which is science, technology, engineering, maths designated programs, the opportunity to have up to 3 years of OPT, whereas non-STEM programs have a 1 year OPT. So that again is one of the, I would say, highlights of how the US higher education system not only helps in education, but also in post-study work acts. Uh, we all know that the FANG, as we famously known as the main dominant tech players, they're all based out of US. And also from a, while I talked about the US being the largest economy, also from a per capita, it is among the top 10 per capita economies globally. So all in all, there is a huge uh, base of institutions in US which offers programs and studies of your choice. There's a huge cultural diversity, but that said, Indian students are among the largest cohorts in US. There's a very strong, vibrant support system, both in terms of while you're studying and post your studies. And last but not the least, it is supported by a very strong economy, and that's what drives a lot of employment opportunities for students who are looking to work after their program in US. Types of higher education, I'll focus more on public-private universities. There are bachelor degrees and graduate and postgraduate programs. One thing is important that most of these programs are have a lot of experiential and a research component embedded into these programs, which is slightly different from the way the programs are structured in India. So that requires a lot of uh, capstone projects, etc., that my colleagues and other presenters are going to talk about in their programs. But yes, public-private universities is among the favorites where Indian students go for. And there are a whole host of programs both at undergrad level and graduate and postgraduate level. There are two key intakes in US. The most famous, as we all know, is a fall intake, which is the end of August, September, which is the major intake, uh, for which and the duration of the program then runs from September till December, and then the next semester starts. And similarly, there's a spring intake, which is January, and then that's the minor intake. So you can say 80-20 rule, where 80% of the intake happens in the fall in general across the US, and 20% of intake still happens in the spring. Um, Important to note the deadlines. So for the fall intake, uh, all the good universities would have their admission deadlines or application deadlines in November, December of the previous year. While there could be some exceptions in terms of extending it to Jan, Feb, but be very clear that when you are applying, the application deadlines generally are ending in December or latest by January for the July of, say, 26 intake. So for July of 26, applications will close by December 25, at max by Jan or Feb of 26. So that is something that we need to keep in mind for the major intake of fall. Moving to the eligibility criteria. So as I said, there are bachelor's and there are master's. Master's programs are generally 2 years. Bachelor programs are 4 years. And then for the bachelor's program, obviously you need to have your class 12, and then you need to take SAT and an English language test. Obviously, TOEFL being the oldest test in amongst all the ELTs, it is the most widely accepted English language test across all 4,000 institutions in US. And similarly for master's program, again, uh, besides TOEFL, we also recommend everyone to take GRE. And then the scores vary by institution, by program, and that's what you need to check out on the website of the university in terms of the score requirements based upon the program and the university. But in general, 80 plus is the minimum score for TOEFL, and for GRE 300 plus. Another important thing that one needs to remember in case of master's program is for master's program, US universities generally require 16 years of education, which means that 12 years of school, high school, and then 4 years of undergrad. And then that's the general thumb rule. And in case you're not fitting into the 16-year bracket, so one has to figure out how you need to admit. So that's another important criteria that one should look out for on university website in terms of the requirements of number of years of education prior to applying for a master's program. This is a kind of a checklist that you should always be kind of keeping handy in terms of while applying to a US university. Besides your general 10th, 12th, undergrad, graduate mark sheets, TOEFL scorecard or an English language scorecard. I must share this with you. For TOEFL, uh, as per the surveys that we have done in India, and most of us are also hearing about visa approvals. As per the survey, Indian TOEFL test takers who submitted their TOEFL scores at the time of visa, they had an 85% visa success rate. So that's something that I always suggest, recommend to students, that showcase your intent of a genuine student. and TOEFL GRE are standardized tests that also enables the visa counselor to validate that yes, there is a genuine student interest in pursuing an undergrad or a graduate studies in US. So even if it is optional in the program, it is always recommended to submit your scores, uh, uh, because A, it helps you in the visa process, and B, it also helps you getting a better program, a better university, based upon your criteria in US. Letters of recommendation and extracurricular certificates, because US education is more about holistic experience. It's just not about your grades and marks. So what you have done as part of projects is also very critical and important for you to present at the time of your application, to show a holistic approach of you as an individual, to be it projects, be it capstone projects, be it working outside your domain, in an NGO, etc. So that's also taken very kind of positively by admission officers, as you kind of showcase your diversified interests and experiences in that regard. Tuition fees, these are just ballpark numbers. So again, you have to refer to the university website for the program that you're looking for. But in general, a master's program would be around $35,000 per annum. And these are all per annum numbers uh, for tuition fees. Obviously, there could be scholarships, both based on TOEFL and GRE. There, a lot of universities also offer scholarships to applicants, and bachelor's is around would be around $5,000 more. But again, it depends upon university. These are very broad ranges. Living expenses, again, depending upon the city, depending upon whether you are on campus, outside campus, it could vary annually between $15,000 to $20,000. Visa service is one time, obviously. So all in all, one should look at somewhere in the range of $50,000 to $60,000 as, without any scholarships, as a range for your annual expenses or annual tuition plus living expenses in US. But obviously, I would say on campus and on campus work opportunities and OPT, some of this can be kind of compensated. So this is what I was referring to on campus. So one thing that I must highlight and underscore for all of you is that um, in US, the visa class which is required to study in US is F. F is the visa class, and F1 is the student visa for you to study and pursue your studies in US. F1 visa does not allow to work off campus, and I have and we have always kind of shared that please don't do that. Please don't work off campus for quick bucks, because that can cost you a lot, both in terms of your F1 status, service records, etc. So, but on campus work is allowed. I must also share here. So while there are a lot of opportunities on campus in terms of working in career services, in admissions office, and in various other student amenities in the campus, there are also academic jobs like research assistant, like teaching assistant. And what TOEFL and TOEFL also helps you is to kind of put a better chance for you to grab a teaching assistantship role or a job at your university, because there are very specific requirements linked to your TOEFL speaking score, your TOEFL listening score, that universities look for while considering you for a teaching assistant. So TOEFL scores not only helps you get visa, not only helps you improve your application, but also helps you get these on-campus jobs while you are studying in US. This is what I was referring to earlier: optional practical training, which is uh, which is which is a policy that allows students to to kind of work for 1 to 3 years post completion of their study. But their status remains as a student visa. So their status still remains as an F1 visa. But for STEM designated programs, you can get up to 3 years, 1 plus 2 years of OPT, while for non-STEM, it is 1 year of OPT. This is again very relevant and important for you to consider because these are the finer nuances. Uh, WES is World Education Services, and it is like an agency used for creating equivalence for international students who intend to study in US. Now, where WES comes really critical and important is to the point that I was referring earlier. In case you do not have 16 years of education, uh, before applying to a master's program in US, or after your high school, you have done a 3 year undergrad program in India, say a BSc, a BCom, and then you have done 1 year of another program, say first year of MSc, first year of MCom, first year of any other program. Now, for an admission officer at a university, it is virtually impossible to understand what you have done. And that's where WES comes. So WES will take all your credentials and then convert them into a language that a admission officer in a US university understands. And that's where WES services comes really handy. So this is another important element for students who are, and it would not apply large for BTech students because for BTech students, it is 12 years of high school and then 4 years of BTech. So you're sorted. But for some of the other domains where we still have a 3 year BSc, BCom, BA, that's where it becomes relevant. So I just wanted to highlight this point for all of you. Some do's. So while you will hear a lot, but from our experience, right, I've highlighted some of it, so I'm not going to go through in detail every point, but I want to underscore and double-click on this point. Every country is now looking for genuineness of that student, whether that student wants to really study in their country, and US as well. And tests like TOEFL and GRE, even if they are optional, etc., we always encourage students to take them because that helps you improve your what do you say, your articulation as a genuine student, and also helps you get your visa. So I think there is a very strong correlation between some of these standardized tests and your intent to study in US. So we always encourage you to take these tests and be prepared to kind of to showcase your intent to a visa officer. Second is start your career planning early. 2 years for your graduate program will just fly by. And use university resources to improve your resume, practice interview. Start that early. And even what are the options for OPT? How do I get to that? So I think from the first semester itself or the first quarter itself, you should start prepping yourself, understanding that. And third is important is in OPT, you need to be, in case you are on OPT, then you need to report your employment status within 90 days in the initial OPT period of 1 year. In the extended OPT period, you must report your employment status within 60 days. These are some of the must-haves that one should be very, very methodical, very clear and precise. We cannot just kind of ignore these aspects while studying in US. Um, some don'ts, and these are critical don'ts. So I have not highlighted one over the other. All four of them are very important for you to consider. Don't be irresponsible on social media. You may be reading, listening from your friends, etc. Your social media posts are a reflection of who you are. Please be very responsible in terms of how you are engaging on social media, be it Twitter, Insta, etc. So be very, very conscious because if your ultimate aim is to study in US, then that's what matters the most. Second is don't skip your classes. Once you are in, maintain your attendance records as per the program requirements because everything can have an impact on your visa status. Um, don't transfer to lesser known institutions. without a valid reason. That will be considered as, again, a question mark, again, under high scrutiny from counselors, from institutions. Please don't do that. And the OPT market is an opportunity, but you have to be really preparing for it well in advance rather than kind of doing that in the last 3 months. Start early, again, as I said, for you to be really successful. So those are some of the key highlights from a US standpoint. Happy to answer questions later, but that's all for now from my side. Thanks, Lakshmi.
Thank you so much, Sachin. Uh, I will now request Salil to please start with the session, share information about University of Arizona with the students.
Thank you, Lakshmi. Thank you, Sachin, for the wonderful platform, the foundation for studying in US and the guidelines. Hello, everyone. My name is Salil Gupta. To start off my presentation about University of Arizona, I have a very quick slide or a video to show you all. Here we go. Great. I hope the video has given you some very quick insights about University of Arizona. And just to put that into perspective, University of Arizona is based in Arizona in a city called Tucson, which is a home city. And as Sachin highlighted the region, we are in the southern western part of US. We are currently top 50 public institutions in the US with over 53,000 student population studying with the University of Arizona at different academic levels. Also ranked top 1% worldwide, representing over 128 nationalities on campus. If you see the demography of the students between different academic levels, majority of the students, or more than 42,000 students, are at the undergraduate level, followed by graduate students, over 11,000, and approximately 7% international students at the campus, representing 3,600 students. So around 93% of the students are home students studying with the University of Arizona. When we talk about a few of the other things, I'm proud to say that we are Research One or R1 University, investing over $1 billion in the research activity, which was done in 2024 with over 535 patents. And importantly, we really talk about undergraduate research opportunities. If you come to University of Arizona to study undergraduate program or a major, you'll be exposed or being asked or guided towards publications, writing articles, and drive towards undergraduate research opportunities. We are a Hispanic service institution and was established in 1885, over 140-year-old institution now. More in rankings, I know we all want to know about rankings, and students specifically from South Asia, ranking plays a vital role. Management Information Systems Program, or MIS, is ranked number 2 among US public institutions. We are number 2 in water resources, 3 in physical sciences, and 5 in astronomy and astrophysics. There's a lot to talk about over the programs and the majors we offer at the undergraduate and the graduate level, and which we're going to highlight in the coming slides. As I said, we are based in a city called Tucson, which is, you can see on the screen. We are the second largest city in the state of Arizona. And the state of Arizona is, boundary sharing state with California, Nevada, Mexico, and very, very well connected across many major cities in the US. So traveling from this part of the world to Tucson is not a concern. You can go from Delhi, San Francisco flight or Delhi, Chicago, Newark, and travel to Tucson as well. If you are in Tucson, be sure to explore many things, including the 11th wonder of the world, which is Canyon National Park, which is only, I think, 4 hours away from Tucson. And a lot of students do choose that as an option, and they go also to Saguaro National Park when they are in Arizona and Tucson. But what Tucson really gives you more than the academic value as well. We are top 5 in best quality in the US, in best quality air in the US. We have 350 days of clear skies, so it's very optimal temperatures of climate throughout the year. There is no extreme weather. 18 to 24 degrees centigrade average winter temperatures. Over 500,000 people living in Tucson, and it gives you a vibe of a big city while being a small city itself. Everything is around. University of Arizona itself is a 375-acre campus in the city of Tucson. We are also referred as International Dark Sky City, one of the places you will find in US which have optical telescopes all across Arizona and across Tucson as well. And just on that, University of Arizona is the only and the largest provider of optical lenses, which are maybe 16 meter in diameter, 18 meters in diameters, are done by University of Arizona, which are used across the world. On the screen, you see a glimpse of our campus, which is spread across roughly around 335 acres, which has everything, you name it. We have over 22 departments, housing, multiple state health sports stadium, planetarium, observatories, which you can experience everything in one campus itself. And whatever you need is around 1.5 square kilometers radius from the campus. Whether we talk about restaurants, groceries, medicines, whatever you need is just across the campus. We have multiple support services available for you around the campus, whether we talk about health services, UAPD, and it is all available to you 24/7. The best thing about University of Arizona campus is bike friendly. You can use the bike throughout the campus. We have limited areas only for where the cars can go, but bikes are very friendly. Students prefer choosing walking as well. If you do not want to bike, we have public transportation, which is actually free of cost for all the students and the visitors, and which connects all the main locations, the major locations of the university through public transportation itself. We have buses, trams, and we run our own transportation, which we call it CAT tram, which is absolutely free for the students as well. When you're on campus, there's a lot of opportunities for you, obviously, to engage yourself in billion-dollar research activities. We have multiple on-campus jobs, over 10,000 on-campus jobs available for the students. We have a dedicated department called International Student Services, which actually just designed for you from the day you choose or you decide that you want to come to University of Arizona, from the day they issue your I-20 till the time you reach there, and even beyond that, for any need you may need, maybe for license, for taxation, for working, OPTs, CPTs, and they will help you with that. We have campus health and wellness, which have 24/7 supportive environment for you on that as well. Moving forward to the campus housing, we can accommodate over 7,600 students on campus with 23 dormitories and different types of accommodations available to you, from single accommodation, studios, triple sharing, twin sharing, and 4 districts. So you can choose which part of the campus you want to live in, depending on your college or department, and you can be there. Interesting fact here is that we have seen students who have chosen to be on campus, to live on campus, have seen 8% higher GPAs compared to people off campus. However, this is not a mandatory requirement. You can stay on campus or off campus depending on what you want. It purely depends at your choice and at your will, whether at the undergraduate level or at the graduate level. Deep diving more into the academic side of the University of Arizona, we have over 22 departments, starting with College of Agriculture and Life Sciences, which is one of the largest departments at the University of Arizona and the oldest one, which is one of the biggest agriculture and life sciences colleges in the US. with over 30,000 alumni already. We have Applied Sciences and Technology, which runs programs into AI, cloud computing. One of the top architecture programs, BArch, MArch, are available under the College of Architecture, Planning and Landscape, College of Education, College of Engineering, top 20 College of Engineering in the country. We offer over 16 majors under College of Engineering, from civil, mechanical, industrial systems, biomedical, you name it, and we have it. Aerospace. College of Fine Arts, ranked #2 in the country as a Master of Fine Arts program. Humanities, College of Law. Eller College of Management, which usually need not need a lot of introduction, is ranked top 25 business school in the country. We have recently introduced a 1-year STEM MBA program, which can be looked after by a lot of our business students from next year onwards. College of Medicine, we have 2 medical schools and a nursing school as well, one in Phoenix and one in Tucson. College of Optical Sciences, if you're looking in optics, optical sciences, we are the place for you. Pharmacy, public health, sciences, social science and behavioral sciences, veterinary medicine, and importantly, honors college as well, which is a strong area for undergraduate students to look into. When we talk about the entry requirements in any of these programs, let me take you forward to the undergraduate portion first. It is very, very important to highlight that we are changing. We are transitioning to a holistic application process for next fall 2026, which will get implemented from this year. So the applications for this year will open on 1st of August for next fall, and the early action deadline will be November 1st. By applying by November 1st on early action would mean that you would get opportunity to apply to selective programs, scholarships, and honors college as well. There will be no rolling admissions, so we'll get a bulk decision by 15th of January, and we are going completely holistic at the undergraduate level. So this is something you must consider, all the undergraduate students who are looking to come to US or maybe considering University of Arizona. We are changing, so please look out for more information or contact us on this as well. Few of the entry requirements are listed here. As Sachin mentioned in his slides earlier, we'll look into you should apply early. If you're applying for undergraduate fall next year, fall 26 is the deadline. And same deadline happens to be for the spring term as well, which is January term. You need to upload your academic transcripts with the GPA of 3.0. And we consider last 3 years of GPAs. So if you are in grade 12, make sure that you can give us your 9th, 10th, and 11th. If you have finished your grade 12, then 10th, 11th, and 12th will be required. English proficiencies are required. Either TOEFL, IELTS, Duolingo will be required as well. We can also consider medium instruction letter as well from your school. Additional documents, we require an essay, SATs, resumes, and LORs. And then you apply, submit, and pay the application fee of $85. You can apply directly on a website. You can apply through Common App as well, depending on whatever works out well for you. A bit more about the selective programs, like architecture requires you to have a 3.5 GPA, where nursing requires you to have a 3.8, and engineering, any engineering major would require you to have a 3.5 plus and should have a C or better in pre-cal physics as well. Now, this is an important component. I know there's a lot of information to take, so please contact us and we'll be happy to give you more details and nuances about our undergraduate entry requirements. If you apply to us at the undergraduate level, one thing is assured, you will get some type of a scholarship, including a global Wildcat scholarship, which is purely based on merit, and an opportunity to apply for Service Leadership Award and additional awards through Honors College and Scholarship Universe. The Scholarship Universe hosts over 1,600 scholarships which students can apply to only after they get admitted. So you apply, you get accepted into a Global Wildcat Scholarship, followed by an application to Service Leadership Award, and then a Scholarship Universe too. And these are all stackable, so which just makes kind of bigger sum for you. At this stage, for fall 25 and January, this is how the Global Wildcat Scholarship looks like for you. So if you are into 3 GPA to 3.24, it goes to 4,000. And if you have done 3.9 to 4 GPA, you can get up to $20,000 scholarship. So anything between $4K to $20,000 scholarship per year at the undergraduate level, you have the opportunity to apply to. Moving forward at the graduate level, and I know there's a lot of interest at the graduate level. Now, this is the QR code. You can scan it or take a screenshot, guys, which will take you directly to a program catalog, which lists on all the master's program or PhD programs which are available. You can search it based on the keywords or specific program you're looking for, which really highlights the specific requirement for those programs. The key component to understand here is that the approach at the master's level or a graduate level is very different than to undergraduate. Each program has its own deadline, own entry requirements. You must read the program specific requirements and apply those within those deadlines. It is important to note that the deadline can go from 1st of December till 15th of January for majority of the programs. Only handful programs are available after 15th of January. So please look out through this catalog, the program you're interested in. You can contact us, you can contact the department. You can also see the acceptance rate from here and the specific prerequisites needed for each program too. What to expect if you have chosen a program, make sure you see the deadline, academic transcript, bachelor's degree, coursework, the prerequisites required, a GPA of 3.0 minimum. It can go up to 3.25 for certain programs, so please look out for that. Personal statement, CV, resumes, letter of recommendation are key. Please prepare for 3 recommendation letters when you're applying for University of Arizona. Standardized test for GRE, GMAT, and English proficiency. It may be needed, it may not be needed, depending on the program you're applying for. So again, and see the specific program requirements and and look into that. Or contact us, we'll be happy to guide you to that as well. If you're applying for fall 26, make sure you start working on our application from 1st of August itself. The application most of the time opens up mid of August onwards. We are currently open for spring as well, for J term or January term. Only handful of the graduate programs are available, but these are the entry requirements too. Few of the application tips here, guys. If you are submitting your academic resume, make sure it has your education, research experience, teaching or work experience, publication, conferences, professional activities, honors and awards. Personal statement, the key important aspect is please connect with the department's faculty or the research that's happening and be clear on why you are free, right? These are the important components of personal statement. Do not plagiarize, do not give a generic statement purpose that usually is not looked into a very positive way. English proficiency is a strong aspect for students. Make sure, again, to get into the English proficiency. A lot of programs will require you to have English proficiency, if not to get into, but many of them, if you're looking to apply for RA or TA positions, may ask you to have a good speaking aspect in your English proficiency exam. So please look for that. Accepted exams are TOEFL IBT, TOEFL Essentials, IELTS and Pearson, and there are certain ways to waive it at the admissions level, but having it would always be helpful for you. Funding plays a vital role at the master's level. We don't usually offer scholarships at the master's or the PhD level. You should look for funding. Funding can come in the form of research or teaching assistantships, fellowships, grants, or campus jobs. All these things are available to you once you get accepted by the University of Arizona. Application processing time is usually 6 weeks after the deadline. So make sure that you apply early, and once the deadline is there, you will receive a decision from us shortly. There are external scholarships available too, or fundings available too, through Education USA Center, government scholarships, grants, sponsorship, fellowships. You can consider taking a loan, and which you can consider. And then obviously Scholarship Universe plays a vital role for the master's students as well. Briefly, this is our contact details from India. If you want to reach out to us, to anyone, my team is based across India. We'll be happy to help you on this. Please take a screenshot, and I'm here to address any of the questions you may have for us as well. Thank you again, Lakshmi, Sachin, and ETS and Shiksha for hosting us and allowing us to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Salil, for sharing information. I will now request Sukriti Sharma to please share about Northeastern University with all of us.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Thank you, Lakshmi. My name is Sukriti Sharma. I'm the Senior Associate Director for Recruitment and Marketing with Northeastern University. I'm very glad to have be meeting you, all of you here. Thank you, ETS. Thank you, Shiksha, for organizing this wonderful session so that we can share, the maximum information possible with all our students. I'll quickly begin with a general introduction to everybody about Northeastern. Okay. So Northeastern, as some of you might know, that we're a private research university, but we're also a not-for-profit university, which is why the generosity with scholarships that I'll probably speak about in the next couple of slides. As far as rankings are concerned, we're ranked as number one for our co-ops or cooperative education or paid internships that are a part of your course curriculum, as you may call it. Now, co-ops are definitely an integral part, especially when students are looking to apply for their studies abroad. And this is definitely a stepping stone for them when they're looking for their employment opportunities. This is also termed as CPT or curricular practical training, and I have a whole slide deck to present on this post this. So we'll get to know more in detail. We're ranked in the top 54 national universities. So Northeastern University we were established in the year 1898. We are practically 125 years old. And now we have expanded to 13 campuses across the world. We have 10 campuses in the US, including some of the most prominent locations, which are also very, very central with regards to employment opportunities and the kind of safety, reliability, accessibility concerns that students sometimes have. As you can see, these are listed here. So we are there in Boston, we're there in Portland, both on the East Coast. We are there in Silicon Valley and Oakland in California. We're there in Seattle. Miami is the newest launch for us, which is doing great, offering brilliant STEM programs to you. Apart from that, we have two campuses in Canada, one in Toronto, the other in Vancouver, and then there's one London campus as well. Northeastern is also one of the top universities for having the maximum number of international students on campus, which is more than 24,000 students that we have on across all our global campus networks right now. So you can very well imagine the kind of support and the kind of a promising environment that students have, and we have got that sort of infrastructure and support services for you. This is a glimpse of the Boston campus for you all. We're right in the heart of Boston, spread across 73 acres of land, right across Harvard University, very, very close to the other very renowned institutions. The campus is absolutely as huge so as to have 4 subway stops right on campus to make it more accessible for students. This is a list of few of our co-op partners. We have more than 3,800 co-op partners worldwide, and every student studying at all the Northeastern campuses, irrespective of the location that you're based at, has access to all the co-op providers offering opportunities to our students. A lot of times students are also able to convert these co-ops into full-time placements, and this ratio somewhere, in terms of percentage, ranges between 58 to 60% of students who are able to convert these part-time job opportunities or co-ops into full-time placements. We offer programs across all of these disciplines. We've got 9 colleges offering more than 250 programs now. And as you can see, the list is pretty extensive, covering programs from engineering to computer sciences, which has data science, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence as standalone degree courses. Even students who are from unrelated backgrounds, say a business or a commerce student who now wants to study say computer sciences, we have aligned programs offering you additional term which you can study and then transition to the main program. The School of Business has courses like business analytics, quantitative finance, which are all STEM. Bouvet College of Health Sciences offering STEM programs again, related to pharmaceutics, drug delivery. Then there are courses related to health informatics, public health, counseling, psychology, and many more. We have the School of Law offering Masters of Law, College of Professional Studies, which is again a brilliant school which offers very comprehensive but short programs, just ranging between a duration of 12 to 18 months. But these are absolutely all on ground, and most of these are STEM programs. Say, for example, project management, analytics, applied machine intelligence, informatics, regulatory affairs, and more. Then we've got College of Sciences, offering the specialized courses related to bioinformatics, biomedical sciences, nanomedicine, and more, social sciences, humanities. And then College of Arts, Media, and Design again has very popular STEM programs, which are like game design to do with your UI, UX, visualization, experience design. We've got architecture running over 2 to 3 years of program duration, depending upon the kind of research modules that you want to take. So absolutely, a very, as I said, a very comprehensive program structure on offer. Most of these STEM degree programs comes with co-ops. I spoke about the kind of international student population that we have, which also translates to the fact that we have students from more than 147 countries that represent our student diversity on campus across all these campus locations. And we also are very particular about the kind of student to faculty ratio that we maintain, which is a very specific of 14:1. This is our main Boston University address, a Boston campus address. I'm going to quickly switch on to some information about co-ops to you all, which is going to give you more insight into what do we mean by experiential learning, or when you look up our rankings on, say, US News rankings or Princeton Review, then what does co-op essentially stand for? So Northeastern offers experiential learning in a couple of ways, wherein we offer co-ops or internships, and then also we offer XN or experiential learning projects. For co-ops, I've shared that before, that we're ranked as the #1 university, which translates to various things. Starting to give you a bit of a background, we're a 125-year-old university. We started with cooperative education over 100 years ago. And initially, we had about 4 inaugural co-op employers, mainly based in Boston. And now the development or the establishment of this entire setup of co-ops is so huge and has expanded to such a level that we have more than 3,000 co-op employers who are located globally in more than 110 countries and within the US across 47 states. And as I said before, anybody studying at any of the campus locations has access to all these co-op employers. You can, since co-ops are a part of your program duration, you can move out of your campus location, complete your co-op, and get back for your academic terms. How is a co-op designed? Co-ops give you they're designed for a period of 4 to 6 to 8 months, depending upon how you plan your curriculum and what is the term of your co-op. Usually, graduate students take it for up to about 4 to 6, for about 9 weeks as part of their program curriculum. It is absolutely integrated with your curriculum. The requirement for this is that once you complete 2 academic terms on campus, you are eligible to start with your co-ops. You obviously get the introduction or access to the co-op employers recruiting beforehand, and you do your interview process, and that's how you progress. Sometimes the co-op employers who are recruiting you might require certain academic eligibility from you in terms of your English test scores or your GPA requirements, so that varies. And TOEFL absolutely is one of our, a preferred, I would say, a test that most of the employers look at. As you also know that TOEFL is accepted worldwide. So we recommend that you take the test, you get a good score, and that will be acceptable all across for your eligibility to the program as well as for your co-ops. Now, this is what the search process essentially looks like. You have to declare your intent that yes, you are interested in a co-op, and you receive permission to search. We have co-op coordinators. I'll very proudly present a slide to you, which will show you the kind of team that we have, and they help you throughout with this comparative job search. They'll help you prepare from your resumes to your interviews, and how do you do your job search, how do you apply, prepare for your interviews, as I mentioned, and then when you get accepted is when you begin. What are the benefits of co-op? So every time that you're looking for a program abroad, I know these 2-3 questions definitely come to mind. One is around the rankings. The second is around the STEM designation for a program, because that helps you get the extended stay back term or time period for about 36 months. And third, what you should ideally also inquire from your university partner that you're aiming to go at is the co-op offering, because as I said, this is like the stepping stone for you to kind of get into that job market. If nothing else, if you're not looking for full-time employment later on, but something that adds a lot of value to your professional resume. These are some of the benefits of co-ops that we've listed: how you grow personally, how you go professionally. You make those sort of connections, you build that network for yourself, even if you're looking from an entrepreneurial point of view later. It's really an added advantage. Where our students work, as I said, this is across the globe, literally across all the 47 states within US and globally in 110 countries that are listed here. Students do not have any restriction even switching between campuses if they need to. Now, this is what I was talking about. This is an entire team only and only dedicated to supporting you for your employment, be it your part-time job opportunities, be it your co-ops, be it your experiential learning projects, which are more research-based projects that you can also engage into starting from day one. You can be working with faculty, you can be working with outside organizations who could be a co-op employer, but who are also currently working on certain research projects that they need support with or have an opening for, and then you kind of get into. So this is the entire team. I mean, talking about academics aside, wherein you're looking at a separate team of coordinators and faculty and advisors. This is purely co-ops. These are some of the glimpses for you to take a look at as to where our students work. We'll take up the question. I'll run through a bit on very quickly on the STEM programs on offering for us. Usually the requirement for Northeastern's programs is your GPA, your English proficiency test score. We have waived off or made GRE or GMAT test optional at the moment, but getting an English proficiency test score is absolutely mandatory. As I said, TOEFL is acceptable. If you're looking at any other test, you can look up the program page to inquire more on that. In addition to that, GPAs are important. We look at the accreditation of your university, if your undergrad university. Most of our programs accept a GPA of 3 on 4. Some, which are also STEM, are okay to look at a 2.5 on 4. We do not require WES, but we do our own internal evaluation, which is called a foreign credential or an external credential evaluation. So all you need to do is make an online application, be in touch with your counseling team at Shiksha. They can help you with the same. There are application fee waivers on all the programs that you're applying to through them. So that's a great support. In addition to that, the counselors are absolutely trained by our team. They can help you navigate through the various programs that you can apply for as per your eligibility and your documentation. You can submit applications to up to 5 programs as well and receive decisions for each of these individually. Talking about STEM, as you know, it stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. However, there are a lot of programs which are business related as well, which are STEM designated. I spoke earlier about business analytics, finance, project management, and more. Now, the benefit with STEM is the OPT or optional practical training that you get, which is essentially work authorization that allows you to continue working for up to 36 months after you've completed your degree program. And that's the benefit that you get with the STEM. When do you apply for your OPT? Some information about on that, which is about 90 days before your program ends. We have a dedicated team, which is called Office of Global Services, that absolutely supports you with transitioning, from your visa subclass or from with regards to the legal documentation that you might require. There are certain extension eligibility criteria as well that you have to meet, which is related to your CIP code, etc. And this is how it reflects. We can share more on this with you. I will quickly let you know that this is the page which is also integrated with our website, where you can look up more on the more on the STEM program accreditations and the requirements. Lastly, I want to introduce you all to what a program page for us looks like. So this is talking about, say, project management. If you want to look up the curriculum, all you've got to do is go here. Entire information is available for you to look at in terms of the electives, the kind of concentrations you're looking at, everything else. What is the duration of the program, what all campuses it's being offered at, the intakes that it's available in. There are some more information whether a program is STEM designated or not. Again, career outlook again being really important. And one of the interesting things that we've added to our program pages is this. So if you want to look at as to what are the career outcomes after you complete this particular program, you can scroll here, the median annual salaries that you can drive out of these that are kind of top companies that recruit for these courses, the skills you need, the job titles, the program tuition cost. This is for the entire program duration of about 18 to 24 months. And again, the admission dates, requirements, everything's listed here. And if you need more help on understanding anything more, we'll be happy to help you. And I'm open for questions now. Thank you so much for your patience here.
Thank you so much, Sukriti, for sharing information about Northeastern University. I'll move on to our next presenter now. We have with us Ms. Geeta Kuruba from University of North Texas. I will request Geeta to please, talk and share about University of North Texas with the students.
Hi, thank you, Lakshmi, and thank you, Achin, and on the ETS team and Siksha team. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes.
All right, this is University of North Texas. I represent UNT, and we are located in, we are a Tier 1 public research university, and, we offer courses in undergrad, grad, as well research. Just to understand where we are located, so we are centrally located in the US and little towards southern part. And Texas and Dallas, almost, it's a well-known state and the city worldwide, if you look at. Just to understand how big is Texas, so I've put Texas map on India map. It's, from north, it starts from New Delhi to Telangana and Gujarat to Jharkhand. So it is quite big. And Texas is, known for a lot of industries. Like, we are also called as capital of insurance, as well as we are known for healthcare, and manufacturing. We all know Tesla has started their gigafactory. And similarly, we have a lot of other companies like, Boeing and even Toyota USA, etc. So we have a lot of companies. That's when a lot of students prefer going to Texas. Every fifth student, I mean, international student coming to USA is coming to Texas. And this is the statistics we have where a lot of international students prefer going. Of course, I know East Coast, and West Coast, and then Texas. So these are the prominent places where a lot of international students are coming to. This is Dallas Fort Worth. Why Texas is becoming so popular for international students and a lot of companies, because one of the major reasons is our airport, Dallas Fort Worth Airport, which connects Texas to the rest of the world. It has got 7 runways, and this is one of the economic motor, we call it. And this is Dallas, which is the nearest from our campus. It takes 40 minutes to reach Dallas downtown, which is again home for 16 Fortune 500 companies. So a lot of students stay on campus or close to the campus, but during weekends they come to bigger city. So they have access to the bigger city, but they are by staying close to the campus, they save a lot of money, and because it's a cost of living also is less near on campus as well as off campus, because Texas being little cheaper or less expensive than other major cities. But they have access to the major city to, either to get the, all the access to the major city to have a fun time with friends, etc. This is our beautiful campus picture. We are, spread across 1,000 acres. And we have a lot of dorms on campus with multiple food choices for students. And we also have a lot of restaurants on campus. We have even vegan options, vegetarian and Asian food as well. So students who go from Asia, they don't miss out on their food. And if you look at we also call our campus is, tree-lined campus. We have huge trees on campus and a lot of greenery on our campus with a lot of facilities on our campus. And we are tier one research university. We have courses in undergrad, grad, and research. We have almost 114 undergrad courses and 126 of grad and research courses. And 95 of our courses are ranked top 100. And coming to the facilities on campus, again, we offer a lot of assistantships on campus. Almost we offer 3,500 assistantships for students, and these assistantships are mainly for for grad students and research students. And these students are, those who get the assistantships, their tuition fee comes down drastically, almost to 50%, and they get to learn while doing the course. And for undergrad students, we have a lot of scholarships. I'll be talking about these scholarships in the next slides. So what university is looking when students apply, and what government of USA is looking when students apply? It is basically university wants to see if students has the required GPA, which is set by the each department, and whether they have a degree or diploma before they applying to university. Entrance tests like GRE, GMAT, or the TOEFL or English test, and English test like TOEFL, you know, IELTS or Duolingo. I'll talk more about the entry requirements in the next slides. And we also need essay for graduate students and research students should make their essay, while submitting their application. And references make of very good impact when they apply, because we need good references from the colleges. Undergrad students no need to have references, but grad and research students must submit their references. And what government wants to see when when students apply, they want to see whether the travel document, which is passport, is it a valid passport, it has got a validity enough or not. And the finances, they want to see, the university even want to see whether they have enough funds to study. And the visa interview, like how well student, how genuine student is coming to USA to study. And vaccinations, that we all know whether they have, because they university and the government do not want students to suffer any illness, and others or other students also should not get any kind of illness. So they ensure the students have the required vaccinations. Coming to the English requirements, we accept TOEFL, we accept IELTS, we also accept Duolingo. So both for undergrad as well grad students, we want them to have same requirements: TOEFL 79, IELTS 6, and Duolingo 100. So all these scores should be submitted to the university officially. So you can take any one of these tests. No need to take 2 tests or 3 tests. So we only need one of these, TOEFL or IELTS or Duolingo. So I repeat, TOEFL should be 79 or IELTS 6 or 100 Duolingo. This is same for both undergrad as well as grad. And the off-campus room and board. So this I was talking a little bit, while talking about Texas. Cost of living in Texas is, way too less if you compare to East Coast or West Coast. So we are like, less than $15,000 per year. So average, it is $1,000 per month, which is way less. Coming to our tuition, we are very much affordable university, because if I've put here the list of all the state universities and the average tuition, you know, so the average tuition is coming to $23,000 to $26,000, but we are way less than even average tuition. So our tuition for undergrad is $22,500 and grad is just $18,000. And we have a lot of financial aid as well as scholarships for both undergrad as well as grad students. Like Mike, I'll explain about the scholarships, which is very, very important for all international students. We have something called Texas tuition, that is in-state tuition. So students who have got any student who get $1,000 scholarship will be eligible for in-state tuition, which is almost 50% less than the international tuition. But not that every student who is applying to UNT will be given $1,000 scholarship to get into in-state tuition. Students have to apply. Firstly, students have to be accepted by UNT, and then students have to apply for the scholarships and financial aid. For undergrad, we have a lot of scholarships, a lot of financial aid than graduate students. So graduate students will get the assistantships. So their scholarships come in the form of assistantships, wherein undergrad students have Eagle Scholarship and Academic Excellence Scholarship. So there's a deadline to apply for the scholarship. It is all the years, it's the same, that is 1st of March. So students have to have an admission from UNT before 1st of March to apply for scholarships. So we recommend all the students to apply as early as possible so that you will be able to apply for the scholarships. And once you have $1,000 scholarship, your fee automatically for undergrad from $23,500, it will drop down to $12,000. And for grad students from $18,000, it will drop down to $10,800, which is huge. So please do not miss out on the deadlines. Keep a check on the web, you can keep checking. Only thing we need is enough of time to process your application. So undergrad applications will take at least 6 weeks time to process and give a decision on the applications. And graduate students, anything between 6 weeks to 10 weeks. So please apply as early as possible. And we have two major intakes, fall and spring. So, but the scholarships are available only for fall semester, and because financial aid we get is for fall semester. So, but students can apply for next following year. Those who do not, those who missed the deadline or who have not got the scholarship, they don't have to, get disappointed. You can keep trying every year. This is our beautiful campus. Again, it's like I mentioned, it's tree-lined campus, very big, and they have this green theme everywhere, very, lively and very vibrant campus, I would say. This is a little bit about, the facilities. Again, we have international student services where they help students to, in how to enroll for classes, how to get your driving license, what are the facilities we have on campus, everything they explain. And this picture shows about, a little bit about gym, and we have swimming pool, we have basketball court at the back, and we have rock climbing at the front. So a lot of students avail all these and to keep themselves fit, and and the sports. Again, this is the place where students not just make themselves fit, but they make a lot of friends, they make a lot of networking. So networking is again key for for the opportunities. And so, and we have a lot of clubs as well. So we recommend students to get these information from our ISS team, and they'll be very happy to help. And this is, the sports. UNT has our own stadium. This is the place where a lot of, not just the sports, like I mentioned, it helps students to make a lot of friends, which help them to, get the opportunity.
Geeta, you're there?
Layers of clothes. So that's one advantage why a lot of students prefer going to Texas. Here, I'm happy to take questions.
Thank you so much, Geeta, for sharing information.
Thank you.
Students, we are now open for the question and answer round. And if you have questions that you want to ask directly, I will request you to please raise hand. Otherwise, I'll take questions from the Q&A section. So firstly, I'll cover questions for TOEFL. Then I'll cover questions on universities. So Sachin, these questions are for you. So the first question is, how and from where can I prepare for TOEFL, and what resource do I need for its preparation?
TOEFL offers a lot of resources, and we are in the process of launching a book, which is a complete guide of how do you do TOEFL. But TOEFL has a test-ready platform. So TOEFL Test Ready is the website that one can go to, where you will have a lot of resources, free resources that one can take advantage to. I must also highlight that Shiksha also does a lot of TOEFL test prep. So students can also, who are looking to kind of take TOEFL, can also reach out to Lakshmi and kind of have the TOEFL test prep done through Shiksha. So there are resources available on a TOEFL test study platform. There is always partners like Shiksha who are doing a fabulous job in TOEFL test prep. And then we are also launching a new book for Indian test takers, primarily on TOEFL, which is one book that can help you complete the entire TOEFL test prep.
Okay. I'll move on to the next question that student has asked that what if my one section is weaker than the other three section? Does TOEFL mark me down on that particular section, or my overall score is considered?
In general, all the universities consider the overall score, like what Salil mentioned, Geeta mentioned, and Sukriti also mentioned. So our TOEFL comes out of 120 is the TOEFL total score, of which like 79 or 80 is the score that we generally recommend, minimum score that one should get. So this is the overall score in the TOEFL test. Only for specifics like a TA or an RA, opportunities where universities may ask for a section score specifically on speaking. But besides that, TOEFL overall score is considered. So you should not be worried.
Okay. Okay. Moving on to next question, that how much time will I take in preparing for TOEFL so that I can book my test date accordingly?
6 weeks is what we recommend. But depending upon your English language proficiency, you can take even lower. But at my 6 weeks is what we think is an ideal time for you to kind of prepare and do well on TOEFL test.
Great. Okay. Next question is that I'm planning to book GRE and TOEFL together. Can you please tell me what would be the process?
So book your GRE and TOEFL together, you get close to 3,000 rupees off on both the tests together. So when you book TOEFL along with GRE, you will get a 3,000 rupees discount. Go to the GRE. So first and foremost, book your GRE, and there you will find an option that book TOEFL as well. on which you will get a 3,000 rupees off. So that's one good opportunity that you can take to kind of to take advantage of if you are planning to take both GRE and TOEFL.
Okay. I'll take up the last question that a student is saying that he's planning to take Shiksha TOEFL classes. What would be your suggestion that whether they should prepare through the TOEFL preps or they can take those classes?
Take the classes and use the TOEFL test ready as a supplemental a course. But I would, because it's always better to be in a face-to-face environment to kind of work with a Shiksha trainer, test prep trainer. So do that and use ETS resources, TOEFL resources for your practice, for your mock tests.
Okay. I'll move on to these questions which are university specific. So there's one common question that I have received from 2-3 students. I'll just phrase it for Salil and Geeta, and I think Sukriti has left, but I'll take this question for both of you. That with all the news currently surfacing online regarding international student admissions in India, how is University of Arizona and University of North Texas dealing with Indian student applications and admissions?
Sorry, just to address, we are processing our application exactly the same way what we have been doing for ages. To be honest, there is no impact on the application processing, neither the timeline, neither our selective or entry requirements. And so there is no impact, to be honest. Everything remains the same. The scholarship opportunities, we all three institutes present here have talked about. So everything remains the same. Funding opportunities, everything remains the same. The only thing is, do not digress yourself from a lot of noises. Continue with your focused approach. Keep up applying.
Yeah, I agree with Salil. Everything is same. There's no change, but we request students to, just don't go by what they watch on TV. So, but they do some research, visit our website, get more insights, meet us, during webinars or, when we visit there in the fairs or colleges. So they can also reach us on email, so get the correct information and then take a right decision.
Okay. I have a question from a student who specifically asked for Master in Public Health program. So the student wants to know that what is the scope of public health in US, and if there's a scope, then what would be the process and eligibility to apply for those programs if they are available?
At you, oh, sorry, go ahead. No, at UNT, we do not have public health. The only courses we do not have is public health, medicine, and law. So I'm not talking. Salil, over to you.
Thank you. So public health is a strong program, first of all, and the opportunities are enormous. One thing is to understand that majority of the public health programs are usually non-STEM. So you should be considering into the specific area of public health, which can be STEM for that matter, but check with the institutions. Do look for recognized public health programs, and you need to probably apply for those recognized programs through SOFOS website, right? To go for a good GP health, the epidemics and pandemics, and you name it, and we have it, right? So look into those opportunities. And again, we offer those. We have a Melinda and Zuckerberg public health school. So look into that, but enormous opportunities in that area, not only in US, but outside US as well, by the way.
Okay. Moving on to next question. This question is from Aditya, and Aditya has asked that taking a gap year does affect my application review for the undergrad programs.
No problem at all. As far as if you're applying to University of Arizona, if you have a gap year at the undergraduate degree, is fine. In India, most of the students preparing for medicine and GE have taken those gap years. That is not a concern at all. The only thing is be ready to write in your essays. Why? What did you do? Just don't leave it as a blank. That don't expect people to anticipate, right, or assume on your yes.
Okay.
Yeah, same with UNT. I just echo Salil.
Okay. Okay, so this question is regarding visa rejection. So, first of all, if a student has a visa rejection from a different country, does your university accept those students? And if yes, then what are the criterias?
As a part of the application process, we don't look into the travel history of a student. We completely boil down towards their academic and their interest levels, right? It's always good to look into your travel history and check if something has gone wrong in the past. But it's a very different process. The visa process is mostly one-to-one. University officials like myself do not play any role in visa outcomes, right? We have support functions, events, and events like these virtual events which guide you for the best practices. But yes, we don't look into travel history at all when you're applying to us.
Yeah, especially Lakshmi, no university will look at their, past visa rejections. It is purely from the visa point of view. Visa officers might ask about these visa rejections, but their travel history or visa rejection history will not affect their application. So university or any department, whatever the department students are applying, will look how they were in their, academics, how is their GRE, if it is required by the program, and their English requirements, and definitely their SOP and their WORs. Not their travel history doesn't affect their application for admission.
Okay, okay. Another question. This question is actually for both ETS and for the universities. So, student is sharing that, does TOEFL, because you shared an information about WES evaluation, Sachin. So, student is asking, does TOEFL help student in the WES evaluation? So, that question is for you. Second question is for the universities, that our applications are evaluated directly by the university, or we have to take the WES evaluation, and do we have to pay for that too?
So I'll answer that TOEFL. It's an easy one, so I'll take that first. So there is no correlation of TOEFL with WES. WES is more about academic credentials, your GPAs at your college, school, or university. So that's what this WES is all about. Over to the universities, Sanangita.
Well, we do accept 3-year bachelor's degree, but it should be, there are two rules. One is strong university and strong grades. So students have to be from NAC A, accredited university, and should have good grades like, three minimum on 4.
Okay.
With
But we
us,
don't need best. We don't need best. We do our own evaluation.
Okay.
same with us. We don't need best. If as far as your transcripts are in English, that's fine, and you are from NAC Grade A Institute, to be honest. If your transcripts are in Hindi or any regional language, please get a WES evaluation done for us.
Okay. 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 Next question is, I'll just take up. I missed on that question, I guess. Wait. So this was regarding the life on campus for students. That what about life in the campus, and what are the treatment that nationalities get from Americans? Salil, if
I
you
can
want to
take
share.
that answer. Yeah, I can. So I have myself been an international student from my undergraduate and master's students back in 2000, and I went to Scotland in 2000s. Right, I spent good time of year in Edinburgh, and then did my master from Northern Ireland. Talking to concept about as international student to American education, I must say diversity in any aspect, whether it's at the education establishments or corporates, plays a vital role. To be honest, talking about even at the student body or the faculty bodies, most of the institutions in America would have a strong diaspora of internationals teaching and studying both, and that's something you should vouch for. And the way we should we have to think about in the capacity that you make friends, you give respect, you take respect, you respect everybody's cultures and diversity, right? You learn from others, you make others learn from your cultures, and that's the best practice, right? But also keeping the fact in line that you have people from different backgrounds, different type of thought processes, right? So idealistically, usually the environment and adaptability is very fair, and most of the institutions in US and across the globe at the global platform will have zero tolerance policy on these places, on the safety, securities, and other aspects too. And this comes from a person who has done his education overseas and been working in this industry in multiple capacities. I'm very confident to say on behalf of every US institutions and UK and Canada that you will not face challenges, but be prepared for everything aspect, be prepared for making friendships.
Yeah, I echo Salil. And one thing we have at UNT, we have 46,000 students, of which 8,500 are international students, majorly from 48 different, countries. So there is a cultural proper, multicultural, and so students also our students have to put in efforts to, know other cultures, and definitely teach our culture to others, and make good friends and good networking. That's the advantage of studying.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that, Geeta and Salil. I'll take a few more questions because I think we are going above, ahead of our time. But there are a few questions that I think is important. So there's a student who wants to ask that when do we start preparing for the English proficiency test? Because the student is planning for an undergrad program and want to apply to the for the undergrad program in the US while they are in their 12th class, or do they prepare after they are done with their high school exams?
So I think if you want to start immediately after your 12th, which means that you would be kind of taking your 12th exams in March of 26, and then you would be eyeing for fall of 26 to start your undergrad program in US. Then this is the time for you to start preparing for your TOEFL, because you would take 4 to 6 weeks to prepare for TOEFL, then kind of start your application process like Salil, Geeta, everybody mentioned. You need to start early and kind of go for an application. Try to kind of submit your application by October and November. So for that, you have to start your TOEFL prep now so that you can kind of meet those deadlines. And that will make you eligible to kind of apply and start your program from fall of 26.
Okay. Another last question I'll take before we end the session. I think this is for both universities and for ETS. First of all, does the medium of instruction work instead of English proficiency test? If I have to take an English proficiency test, whether I should go for an IELTS or for a TOEFL?
Hi, Lakshmi. I've already, explained this in my presentation. We accept all the English tests, but no medium of instruction letter would work for UNT. I think Salil also mentioned in his presentation about the requirements. Salil, you want to repeat?
So it varies, by the way. So at the graduate level, if you're applying for master's programs, make sure you read the requirements. If you're from a NAC grade A institute, it's fine for few programs, but few programs would need you to have TOEFL, IELTS, or Pearson. The only three are options. TOEFL is something we look forward to. Then at the undergraduate level, depending on the program, if you're applying for architecture, law, business, nursing, would require you to have an English proficiency course. Others can go with medium instruction as well. Again, it varies by the program, by the institution. Please get in touch with us and we'll be happy to guide you on that.
And just to add to that, because this is a great question, the English language test requirements are, as Salil mentioned, vary by institution, vary by program. But you all have to apply for a student visa. You all have to have a F1 visa to kind of start your studies in a specific university. And what we have seen, Lakshmi, is that TOEFL really helps not just to get a visa, but also to prepare, because the prep process of TOEFL actually helps you be fit for that academic classroom environment in a university. So we always recommend everybody that this is something that one should do from a success standpoint, both in the visa process and also in the classroom. So while the requirements may vary, but this is something that one should always do as part of the, I would say, the prep process.
Sure. Yeah, correct. I think with this, we have taken up all the important questions that are, which are important for students to know. And students, your profile specific questions, will be catered by the Siksha team here. They will help you out with your, profile, how you can apply to the universities and the process and everything. Regarding students who have questions regarding English language test, please don't worry. Your details we will share with ETS. They are there to help you out. Siksha is also there to help you out. We are also started with our TOEFL free classes for all the students who are applying through Siksha, so that you are ready for your next intake, you are ready with your TOEFL exam, and that you score really good to get your admits to the universities that you desire to study in. So with this, I now end the session, and I would like to thank everyone. I want to thank Sachin, Salil, Geeta, and also Sukriti. She's left now, for taking out time and doing this webinar, helping students with their queries. And I hope you also enjoyed interacting and helping students with their queries also. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. You have a great evening. And to all the students, thank you so much. We'll get in touch with you. We will help you out with your questions and help you out solve your queries. So thank you, everyone. Good evening. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank
Good
you.
evening.
Thank you, sir.